International trading is the exchange of goods and services between countries. This type of exchange gives rise to a world economy in which prices, or supply and demand, affect and are affected by global events. International trade allows us to expand our markets for both goods and services that otherwise may not have been available to us. For example, if you walk into a supermarket and are able to buy Mexican corn, or you have the option to choose between an American or German car, you are experiencing the effects of international trade. Almost every kind of product can be found in the international market. For example, food, clothes, oil, auto parts, wine, stocks, and currencies, between others. In general, international trade allows countries to focus in the industries in which they can be most productive and efficient. And now we go to the big question: why trade? And the simple answer is, if a country can produce a good for less than another country, then the opportunity for advantageous trade exists. Also, this opportunity of trade exists when a country can produce a good or service that another country cannot. There are two types of advantages in international trade. There are absolute advantage and comparative advantage. Absolute advantage occurs when a country can produce a good using the smallest amount of inputs to produce a given amount of output. For example, Farmer Mike has a strawberry farm. It takes him 6 hours worth of work to harvest 1 pound of strawberries. At the same time, Farmer Cynthia also has a strawberry farm. It takes her 4 hours worth of work to harvest 1 pound of strawberries. Lastly, Farmer John owns a third strawberry farm. It takes him 5 hours worth of work to harvest 1 pound of strawberries. In this example, Farmer Cynthia is said to have the absolute advantage in strawberry production since she is able to produce the largest amount of output in the smallest amount of time. Comparative advantage is when a producer has a lower opportunity cost of production than another producer. We can conclude from the last example that Farmer Cynthia was far more productive to spend the least amount of time harvesting strawberries. And for this reason, we can say that Farmer Cynthia has a lower cost of production than either of the other two farmers. To describe the output of an economy, we use the formula Y equals C plus I plus G plus NX, where Y is the nominal output, C is the money spent on consumption, I is the money spent on investment, G is the money spent by the government, and NX is net exports or exports less imports. NX is going to be positive if a country exports more than it imports, negative if a country imports more than it exports, and zero if exports and imports are equal. For example, in this case, NX is going to be equal 0 since it is exporting and importing the same amount of money. In this other case, NX is going to be positive since it is exporting more money than it is importing. And in this last case, NX is going to be negative since the country is importing more money than it is exporting. There are two types of exchange rates in international trading. The first one is nominal exchange rates and the second one is real exchange rates. The nominal exchange rate is a rate at which currency can be exchanged, while the real exchange rate tells how much the goods and services in a domestic country can be exchanged for the goods and services in a foreign country. Sometimes there are going to be barriers in trading, meaning that the government will restrict trade. This might happen when domestic industries cannot compete against foreign industries, so this gives time to domestic industries to develop.